my name's Alan Thorne. I work for the Distributed Information and Automation Laboratory here at the Institute for Manufacturing. The focus of the DAR research group is really how do we make control systems do a better job? How do we make them smarter? We work in a broad range of sectors, helping organisations with this, everything from improving aircraft turnaround operations within the airport space, right through to shelf replenishment policies in the retail sector. But core to our work is really enabling manufacturing processes. And our core skills are really in things like factory operations, logistics processes and maintenance processes. We work with a broad range of companies that help us in that work, and we typically break them down into two areas, being end users who have got real problems out there right now in industry, as well as technology vendors who are developing new technologies that are going to support these types of systems in the future. And that's very key for DAR, because we kind of sit in this middle ground between understanding business requirements but having a real key understanding of what technologies can do for you. And it's the marriage of these two that really get you these successful control systems going forward. The lab is really a testbed facility for us. So when we're developing these control systems in the manufacturing sector, we can actually implement them and see the benefits we can get with them. As you'll see, the lab is actually built up of state-of-the-art automation equipment that you would find in industry. And that's really key for us as well, because we want to make sure that the research work we're doing can actually quickly be transported out into industry and people can make use of it. There are a number of key technologies that we use in the lab here. One being auto ID technologies that we can use for identifying parts and the location of parts through the manufacturing process. We use sensor technologies for doing part inspection, as well as capturing process information as we produce parts. And thirdly, we use network technologies, so we can look at how we effectively do data sharing between manufacturing processes and business processes. The Internet of Things is a network of physical objects. Effectively, it's where an object can have a unique identifier, and we can link that object to a data repository that can have information about the way that product's moved through a supply chain or through a production process. But it also allows us to put things like recipes into the repository, so effectively, as I see that product, I know what I have to do with that product. So effectively, the information can help to drive the way a product moves through its life. So cyber-physical systems is one of the topic areas a number of our demonstrations that we've been doing here in the lab have been touching on. It's the control systems where we have a tight link between what's happening in the physical world, movements of components, but the representation of that in the digital world, so what our control system thinks. We're finding a number of advantages to it where we're combining manual operators that are doing some of the tasks that are linked into automated operations. In many manual operations, we can have things that can just generally go wrong. Parts can be misplaced. They can be the wrong part. We're using sensor technologies so that we can identify those components, so we understand better what's happening in the physical world, updating that into our control systems, so effectively our automated manufacturing processes can interact more effectively. So rather than, as traditional would happen, the system would come to a stop, it understands the state of the system and it reacts in a new way to be able to handle those variations in the physical world in a better way. If you want to find more information about the tools we have, the DAR website is a good place to look. It has an overview of the tools and provides contact details for people that can help you in moving forward with them.